Hi everybody. The series of videos you're going to see are taken from my Facebook Live that I've been doing in the evenings of the build of this aircraft. Now, one reason I've done this is it's just so much easier to plug in my webcam to my computer, stream it onto my Facebook. People can ask me questions. So the videos you're going to see right now, you'll notice that sometimes I'm answering questions and it's not me hearing voices in my head. It's actually people on my computer asking me questions while I'm just building things. The reason I've done this is it just got too much work to try to record a video, edit that video. Sometimes I would have to edit sound into it because my camera's audio didn't work good with my external microphone audio, and it just became a pain in the butt. So what you're seeing right now is a series of videos of me building the airplane, but it's through my Facebook Live. Now, these first videos were really crappy quality and the audio was crappy, and as I kind of figured out what I was doing, it got much, much better. So understand the first series of videos you're seeing here are crap quality, but then they get much better toward the end. I have about 24 hours of videos I recorded over the last month and a half, and I'm going to try to get each one of them up as about 30-minute pieces or less here on YouTube. So thanks for watching, everybody. I love all my followers, I love all the emails, and I love all the support. Have a great day and rock on. So what I decided to do here is one of the things that drives me nuts is things that take a whole lot of time that are kind of a pain in the butt. And what I really hate is just the tedious little things. You know, if I'm designing something and I can see it coming together, it's exciting. But if I just got to cut out a whole bunch of templates that I'm going to cut parts out from, that drives me nuts. So I used to just use scissors, okay? And everybody think that, you know, scissors are, you know, you just cut your paper, but it takes so long. So what I started doing was, I mean, and this sounds really simple, but I just take a straight edge and a really sharp knife, and I just start cutting out all the parts. And I keep in mind, like this right here, if you can see it, and probably not because the camera's not going to focus right, but this is a template that goes inside the big fuselage so that I can put my wing joiner tubes. Okay, so basically I've got to take this template here and I'm going to place this in here like this, and it's going to show me where I'm going to put the holes that will become the joiner between the front and rear of the fuselage, because the fuselage has to be in two halves to get it up the stairs of my house from the basement. So this is the front half of the fuselage right now, okay? And this here is going to be the rear half of the fuselage, okay? And there are going to be joiner tubes, and I know you can't see this very good because it's overexposing. Hang on. So right here is the holes that have to line up for the joiner tubes. So people have asked me a lot to just make a Facebook Live video while I'm just working, which actually is easier for me because when I make videos, they are sometimes a gigabyte, and to upload it and do all that is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to talk about what I'm doing here while I cut out some templates here, and maybe I'll screw it up live, but this just makes it so much easier than cutting it out with scissors. Oh, and just so you know that my working surface here is a piece of 5/8 inch drywall that I put down on my workbench, and basically on that I use this foil I got from FBL. Now, one thing you want to be careful about putting this foil on is I was using a hot wire one time, and when the hot wire touched the foil, it actually electrify the entire table because my hot wire uses AC power, and it knocked the crap out of me. So, which don't ever use a power supply that's AC, okay? I do it because I'm just lazy and don't want to go out and buy a new one. But, you know, essentially, be careful if you've got a foil work surface. But the reason I like the foil is it's so much easier to clean up. When I just have drywall here, and you cut on the drywall comes up. This foil keeps it all together. And so what I'm going to start doing is, as I'm building some different parts and pieces, especially something tedious like this where I can kind of work and talk, I'll do more of these Facebook Lives. But as you can see, when I'm doing these templates, they're huge. And because I have a plotter that I can basically print almost 180 inches long, this ends up being an awful lot of paper to try to cut with scissors. And by just taking a straight edge, voila, another template. So, and you might ask why there's different templates. There's different parts of the fuselage that have different thicknesses. And like, as you can see, this one right here is longer than this one. This one actually runs, I'm trying to think, yeah, this one runs in the tail half of the fuselage, which doesn't have a big deep floor like the front half of the fuselage. Fuselage, as I sound like Elmer Fudd there for a minute. Another interesting thing about cutting out these templates that you've got to be kind of aware of is what the thicknesses are that you are basically, when you're building a fuselage here. See, I've got the floor here, which is a thickness, and you can see that this bulkhead here is a little bit shorter. The bulkhead behind it actually runs with the floor here. So when you're drawing this in CAD, you really have to think about, you know, what are these widths? Now when you buy this, this is called 1/2 inch, the styrofoam. It's actually 9/16. And when you're drawing this all in CAD, that 9/16, you know, basically an extra 1/16 of an inch added up over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers, you end up having 6/16. It screws up everything with CAD drawing. So it's just something to think about when you're drawing this up. Oh, and by the way, this whole thing right here only weighs like 4 pounds right now, the fuselage. But as I cut out these templates, I'll do another one when I start to cut them out on the phone, another Facebook Live. And if anybody's asking questions while I'm doing this, of course I can't see them and I'm not going to be able to answer them. So if you're asking questions, maybe since I've never done a Facebook Live, I'll figure out later on how to answer you. I'm not sure how I would do that. Unless I had somebody sitting here typing in what you're typing while you answer the question, because the whole point of this is for me to do something while you watch. And as you can see, this is going pretty fast compared to cutting it out with scissors. I don't know why I was thinking that's stupid. I mean, think about this, okay? You're gonna, that's pretty stupid. Now, this bulkhead right here I'm getting ready to cut out is actually what I call the like end cap. And it's going to, once the roof's on the fuselage here, this will be the cap that makes up the seam where the two halves, well, the front and rear half of the fuselage will come together, okay? And I need that to be as flat, and I need that to be perfect, because when I join the front half, I don't want there to be like a 1/4 inch gap here, and when the plane's taxiing, somebody goes, hey, is the tail of the plane falling off? Yeah, it look pretty bad. But that was the hardest part, believe it or not, of drawing this Frankenstein plane. which by the way I call the fraEMMAstein. And just getting all these dimensions right, because the thing you hate to do is cut out a bunch of parts and line them all up and realize that you're 6/16 of an inch off. Actually, I think I'm going to make a t-shirt that says 6/16. That's how much I was off. And another thing is, be prepared for total, just obscene failure when you do this kind of stuff. You'll never get it right the first time. If I would have given up the first time I screwed one of these up, I'd probably be making fishing lures or something. Not this stuff. And I'm sure somebody has made a comment or asked questions about the area I have to work in. And basically, when my wife and I decided to buy a house and get out of our condominium, I told her I didn't care what the house looked like. I didn't care really how big the yard was, because we knew living where we would, it'd be expensive to have a big yard. I said, I just need a massive basement. Problem with the basement is you got to be able to carry everything up and down the stairs, which is okay, I guess, if you plan for it. But I have an entire basement that I made an office in and made a workshop in. I have a room that I call my dirty room. And in that dirty room is where I do all my sawing, cutting, sanding, milling, anything that creates a lot of dust. And then this room is what I call my clean room. Which really isn't that clean because I still paint in here and it screws everything up. But it is the cleaner room. I should call this the cleaner room, not the clean room. And then I have an office. And I gotta be honest, I'm pretty proud of this table because the foil keeps all the drywall together, so that just once a year I throw away this piece of drywall and refoil it. And as you can see, as I cut on this, it's not really screwing the table up that much, and I'm not getting any dust out of the drywall. Another thing that's nice about this drywall is you can put T-pins in it, you can pin things down. You can actually drywall screw to it, which I do all the time. And I can't believe in this little bit of a video I'm making that I'm actually getting all these templates cut out, because normally if I did it with scissors, you know, I'd cut out one or two and then go get me a Mountain Dew, cut out a couple more, go get me some celery, peanut butter or something. You know, I got so bored. And this just makes it so fast. And I hope somebody's watching this and you're not all bored out of your mind, because this is my first Facebook Live. Uh-oh, almost screwed up a template there. Yeah, I think I screwed it up a little bit, but it's okay, I can take a pin. If you did screw up the template too much, you can still take a straight edge and put it on the piece you're gonna cut and draw a line and make up for where you hacked off too much of your template. But this is styrofoam, so you can sand the crap out of it, people. And one more part, and then I'll get a big piece of foam up here and start marking it out, and then we'll do another Facebook Live this afternoon, or this morning, or maybe in 10 minutes. I'm not going to do it right now, because I got to move things around in here to get the 4x8 sheet of foam up here. And if you're not a fan of Advil, your back is going to kill you after you lean over this table for an hour. Almost there. And voila, I cut out all the templates for my remaining bulkhead for the rear half of the fraEMMAstein. So I hope somebody's watching. I hope you enjoy this. Now I got to figure out how to shut this thing off. And thanks for watching, everybody. Rock on.